How many of you are sick and tired of going out to photograph wildlife only to miss a bunch of shots? Well, stick with me because I literally have one setting, just one, that's going to change everything. Hey everyone, I want to welcome you into Magnolia Photography SC. I'm Jeff House. I'm a wildlife photographer in Charleston, South Carolina. Hey, if you are looking for some tips on where to find birds and how to better understand their behavior, then you need to head over to magnoliaphotographysc.com/store, or you can just use the link in the show notes, but that's going to take you right over to my website where you can download that free guide today. So how many of you out there have gone out to photograph wildlife? You're being patient, you're being persistent, and suddenly wildlife gives you this incredible moment. A bird in flight, a deer running and leaping across the field, and you get ready to take the shot, right? You've got your finger halfway down on the shutter to engage, focus on your subject, and then suddenly your camera just unexpectedly starts firing off a bunch of photos, just starts taking a bunch of pictures. Or maybe your finger slips off the shutter, or maybe you release the pressure a little too much and all of a sudden your camera just stops focusing and you miss the shot. It's infuriating. But don't worry, I've got some good news. I've got a fix for you, and it's called back button focus. Now, back button focus is something that's been around for a long time, something that you can easily do. But if you've never heard of it before, what does it mean exactly? What is it? Well, it's nothing more than taking the focusing part of picture taking and decoupling it from our shutter button, right? And then what we're going to do is we are going to assign focusing to a button on the back of our camera. Usually we are assigning it to either the AF on button, or we are assigning it to the AE/AFL button. Either way it works, but this is a great way to really increase our consistency when it comes to capturing wildlife. But let's just take a quick step back for a second. Let's understand what's happening when we are capturing images and what I'm going to refer to as the traditional way. Right? If you've just bought a camera, or you bought a camera a little while ago and you took it out of the box and you went out to take photos, every camera is set for the default picture taking method, right? And that of course means when we go out to take a photo, we are going to depress our shutter button halfway down. That's going to engage the focusing system on our camera. And then once we're ready, we're going to go ahead and fully depress that shutter to actually capture the image. But having both of these actions combined and assigned to one button is very far from ideal. Let's specifically relate it to wildlife photography. Well, first of all, we know that when it comes to focusing, our cameras really should be set up in continuous auto focusing, right? This, of course, means that when we are using the focusing feature on our camera is automatically going to provide us with a lot of assistance by using that continuous autofocus and constantly adjusting focus on our subjects for us. If we are using the traditional way of capturing an image and we depress that shutter button halfway down to engage that focusing, well, we have to be pretty precise with the amount of pressure that we are putting on the shutter button, right? If we release that pressure, if we just ease up on that pressure a little too much, what's going to happen is we are going to lose focus. Our camera is just going to stop focusing. But on the other side of the coin, if we add just a little too much pressure to that shutter button, our camera is just going to start rapid fire taking pictures, right? And of course, this all happens very suddenly and very unexpectedly, but it's a big reason why we're missing shots when we're taking wildlife photos. So what we want to do is we want to separate these two actions. We want to make sure they're different so that we can prevent this issue. We all know that when we're out photographing wildlife, it's really easy to get missed shots and mess up our pictures, right? When we're in the heat of the moment. We're out in the field, there's a lot of things to think about, a lot of things to worry about, right? We're worrying about exposure. We're worrying about autofocusing. We're worrying about composition. We're worrying about lighting. There are a ton of things to worry about, and we don't want our image capture process to be one of them. So we're going to separate the actions of those two buttons, and we're going to keep image capture to the shutter button, and we're going to take back button focusing, and we're going to assign it to one of those buttons that I mentioned earlier on the back of our cameras. Now, it's pretty easy to set up back button focusing, but it is different for every camera manufacturer and every camera. So of course, I'm going to refer you to your camera's manual so that you can find the specific instructions in setting that up. Now, I will be very upfront with you, right? I remember when I first switched from the traditional way of taking a picture to back button focus, it felt a little awkward, right? It was a little weird at first, but it didn't take long for this to really become kind of ingrained in my mind, and it felt like second nature. Now, I'm going to say, as I always say to you, photography is something we need to practice. We don't just go out and get the perfect composition. We don't just go out and get the perfect exposure. We don't do these things without putting in a little effort, putting in a little practice. So learning back button focus, kind of training your mind to use the focusing on the back of your camera with a button, and then using the shutter button separately to actually take the picture. It might take a minute or two for that to become a little bit more natural to you, right? But we're not asking you to spend hours a day out there practicing. Just spend, 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes a day. I promise you, it will just take a few days and it will start to feel very natural to you. I see a lot of photographers give back button focus a try, and because it doesn't feel immediately natural, they go back to their old way. But then they also go back to those old frustrations of losing focus or having the camera take pictures when they didn't want to. Just take a few days. I'm telling you, you don't even have to go outside. Just stay in your house. Just sit in a chair and move your camera around your house and take pictures of different objects, right? Bring the camera down, bring it up, back button focus, take the picture, okay? Just keep doing that, repeat it. I'm telling you, and I promise you, it'll just take you a very short time before this feels natural, but don't abandon it if it just feels a little uncomfortable in the beginning. This is going to be well worth it, and you're really going to see a big difference in the consistency when you're out in the field taking your wildlife photos, because you're no longer going to have to worry about those misfires. You're no longer going to have to worry about how much pressure you're putting on the shutter as you depress it halfway to engage your camera's focusing system. All of this is going to happen much faster and much easier. So all you simply do, I have it assigned to my AF on button. I just hold that button in and I put it on my subject and I continue to hold it and I just take pictures, right? That's simple. So again, don't forget, have your camera in continuous autofocusing mode, have your burst rate set to a high burst rate, right? The highest burst rate that your camera allows. And all you got to do is focus using that back button that you've assigned it to, and then hold down your shutter when you're ready to take those pictures. It's as simple as that, guys. But this one little change, this one simple little change in your camera settings is going to pay off huge in the end. All right, that's it for today. Real quick video. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. If you did, of course, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Want this video to get pushed out to other folks like us who enjoy talking about these things, who enjoy learning about these things. These can be really helpful tips. And while you're here, I would also appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to head over to magnoliaphotographysc.com/store or use the link in the show notes, but go download that free guide today on tips for finding birds and also understanding their behavior. And of course, if you want to look at some editing software, if you're tired of monthly subscription fees and you just had it, right? Check out DxO. I'm going to have a link in the show notes where you can head on over to DxO, download a 30-day free trial, give the program a try. Or if you're ready to make a purchase, go ahead and use that link in the show notes along with my special discount code Magnolia to receive 15% off any of your purchases. Guys, thank you so much for spending your time with me. Appreciate it very much. Good luck with your wildlife and take care.